All right, those were the takeaways from the bilateral meeting, both the Prime Ministers of Mauritius and the Indian Prime Minister speaking there. But there's more breaking news coming in. The India-US trade deal has picked up pace. Union Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal has said that the first tranche of the trade deal is expected by November. Listen in.
मुझे लगता है कि फरवरी 2025 में माननीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी और राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप जी ने मिलकर हमें निर्देश दिया था कि दोनों पक्ष के मंत्री फॉल 2025 यानी नवंबर 2025 तक एक अच्छा करार करें। उस करार का पहला अंश फर्स्ट ट्रांच नवंबर 2025 तक फाइनल करें और लगभग मार्च से इस विषय पर बड़ी गंभीरता से बड़े अच्छे वातावरण में बातचीत चल रही है, प्रगति हो रही है और प्रगति से दोनों देश संतुष्ट हैं।
The Commerce Minister there speaking in Patna, and he says, and I'm going to quote him here, in February 2025, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Trump together instructed us that ministers of both sides should make a good agreement by November 2025. The first part of the agreement, the first tranche, and this is extremely significant, should be finalized by November 2025. And since March, discussions have been going on this subject very seriously in a very good environment. Progress is being made, and with the progress, both sides are satisfied. So that's the breaking news that we have for you. The first tranche in terms of that deal should be announced by November this year. The Commerce Minister saying that there have been talks between the two countries since earlier this year, and they are ready to deliver. This comes at a time, remember, when you've had the US President Donald Trump double down on India with additional tariffs. Himanshu Mishra, Senior Editor, Political, NDTV, joining me live now. Himanshu, now we have it officially with us in terms of the first tranche of this deal being finalized, hopefully, by November. And we are also hearing from the government there, this is a huge significant step given what we've seen in the last 3 weeks between the two countries on trade.
That's right, a very positive development. And remember in February when Prime Minister Modi had visited Washington and he had a very important bilateral meeting with US President Donald Trump, both the countries had agreed in a joint statement that by the fall of 2025, they will be finalizing the first tranche of the proposed bilateral trade agreement, which has a provision to increase the bilateral trade from the existing $190 billion to $500 billion by 2030. And as part of that larger goal, that commitment, that directive that came from President Trump and Prime Minister Modi, we have seen at least 5 important rounds of negotiations in India and in the US.
Right, Himanshu, do stay with me. Akhilesh also joining me live, Managing Editor, Politics NDTV. Akhilesh, we had seen 2 comments in the last few days, maybe in 10 days, from the US President and from the Indian Prime Minister. They were positive after a huge deadlock that we had seen between the two countries. And now we're hearing from the Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal. We're also hearing that there are teams incoming from the US to take this deal forward. So a big breakthrough really here.
That's correct. In fact, the groundwork for this breakthrough was prepared in the past week when Prime Minister Modi responded to President Trump twice on the social media. And in fact, the team for the negotiations, which was supposed to come last month, where the visit was postponed, but now it is confirmation that they are likely to visit this month. So it's a big development as far as India-US bilateral trade agreement is concerned. And though India has made it very clear that the interests of the farmers, fisheries, and MSMEs will be protected at any cost, India will not compromise on the interest of the farmers. This has been articulated by not only by Prime Minister Narendra Modi but by senior ministers on several occasions. So India is making it very clear that whatever the deal comes through with the US, but it will not be at the cost of India's farmers and dairy and livestock community. So that's the bottom line, that's the red line which India has drawn, and I think that's very important to be kept in mind.
In fact, on Breaking Ground yesterday also, we broke this story that the first tranche should be announced in the coming months. And now we have that official word from the Commerce Minister, who also made a comment that this deal will be successful at the NDTV Profit Summit on GST earlier this week. Both, Akhilesh, thank you, both of you, for joining us live on that story.